At 26 years old, I never expected my relationship of 18 months to dissolve over a financial demand that felt more like a ransom than a romantic commitment. My now ex-girlfriend, 22, comes from a culture that practices a bride price payment to the bride's family intended as a gesture of appreciation and a safety net for the woman. While my own culture has an arcane version of this tradition, it is purely ceremonial, usually totaling a few $1,000s that is ultimately returned to the couple through gifts or wedding costs. The price her family demanded was $180,000. When I expressed my shock, she accused me of disrespecting her heritage, claiming she would be an embarrassment to her extended family if the price were lower. I am a Doctor of Philosophy student with 3 years left in my program. To pay that amount, I would have to work for 5 years post-graduation while living with my parents and foregoing any quality of life just to save enough to feel secure spending such a sum. When I explained this timeline, she balked, refusing to wait nearly a decade to marry. Attempting to find a middle ground, I proposed a prenuptial agreement. If we ever divorced, I would pay her the $180,000 guaranteed. She rejected this immediately, suggesting I might become a drug addict or gambler and lose the money before she could collect it. The lack of basic trust was staggering. In a final attempt at compromise, we estimated my net worth upon graduation to be roughly $100,000. She suggested her parents might lower the price to that amount if we married immediately after I finished my degree. I told her I still couldn't do it. I refused to spend my entire net worth, every cent to my name, to start our life at zero for a tradition I didn't even believe in. That was the breaking point. She began lobbing accusations that felt like emotional blackmail. I'd spend $100,000 to have you forever. But you love money more than me. She framed it as a black and white loyalty test. I tried to explain that while I would spend everything I had to save her life in a medical emergency, I wouldn't burn it all for a blank check to her parents. She told me I was hopeless and that no girl would accept my logic. Then, she broke up with me. The absurdity of the situation is still sinking in. My friends assure me I was being reasonable, perhaps even too patient, but it's jarring to realize the person I loved viewed my entire financial future as the entry fee for her company. I walked away with my $100,000 and my self-respect. But it's a heavy realization that, for her, love wasn't about building a future together. It was about how much I was willing to pay for the privilege.